the standings, and all the West Coast teams will tip off at 12:30 p.m. The Lakers have locked up the number 3 seed. The Rockets have locked up the number 2 seed. And, of course, OKC, they've been the top seed in the West for quite some time. So it's all about what Denver, the Clippers, and the Warriors do today, as well as Minnesota, as they're taking on the Utah Jazz. So it's simple. If the Warriors win, they're taking on the LA Lakers, and they get 6 days off. If they lose, we'll be back here Tuesday as they host the Memphis Grizzlies, and they play in games. So the priority is simple. Win and worry about the matchups later, right, Fezzi?
Absolutely, Bonte. Right now, this is a Game 7, winner takes all. You don't want to be in the playoff box. And the Warriors are really wanting this week off because at age 37, Steph Curry, age 35, Draymond, and age 36, Jimmy Butler, like these guys could really use the rest at this point of the season. So, yes, you win and you move on, get to the playoffs.
Rest and recovery yesterday. Wake up, get your big face coffee, get a good breakfast, warm it up, and play Game 82, which takes on Game 7 implications.
Now, what if they do lose? It is a benefit to have the playing game here at home. Now, I don't want to put those vibes out there, but if you do lose and play Tuesday, you're taking on a Memphis team that has struggled without Taylor Jenkins, and it's not the worst thing in the world if you won that game. They take on a Houston Rockets team that doesn't have as much experience as as the LA Lakers.
Yeah, I think in a Game 7 type scenario, Bonte and Festus, you always want to play with extra focus and energy and effort, but you also want to play a little free and loose. And I think that's both teams have that ability to do that because it's not the worst case scenario. Of course, you want to win today and get that week off. But one team's going to lose and play a game Tuesday, and with that, you'll play Memphis at home, whoever the team is, right? And then you're going to have 3 days off anyway. So I think it really helps for today's game where you want that intensity, but also it's not the end of the world if you happen to have a bad game and lose.
What does Steve Kerr say? You have 3 shots to get to the playoffs. You got tonight. If you lose tonight, you play against the Memphis Grizzlies. If you lose that game, you go play against whoever wins between Dallas and the Sacramento Kings. So for the Warriors, you got a chance to make it to the playoffs, but you don't want to take that chance. All right, it's not like March Madness. This is April. We don't want March Madness right now. We want to get to the playoffs.
We don't want
Friday off.
And we don't want to go past Tuesday, really. And let's get it done today.
Yes, please. We all want 6 days off. But here's what Stephen Curry said Friday night after the Blazers win, after they beat the Blazers, on how it's going to be Game 7 vibes inside this building in about an hour.
I don't want to be too dramatic. Like it should be like a Game 7 kind of vibe. You win, and again, you control your destiny on a guaranteed playoff series. You lose, you roll the dice. So I think I said last game, like good teams find a way to win, big games like that, and that's what we're aiming to be.
All right, let's go inside the Chase Center for the first time today to the great KB, Gareth Burke, and our Warriors insider and Hall of Famer here at NBC Sports Bay Area,
Monty!
Monty Poole in the building.
Playoff intensity, baby.
Playoff intensity up here at the A House at KB. What is your priority for the Golden State Warriors before this game and moving forward? Is it the offense? Is it the defense? Is it the non-Steph minutes? What is the top priority for the Golden State Warriors right now, KB?
Well, one thing we'd like to talk about is the offense. And first things first, we had our backs turned for a while to the camera because we were watching Steph warmed up. He's that thumb, we wanted to see how he was doing. He is sinking threes from the corner just like normal, so hopefully Steph is feeling okay in his warm-up. But as for the offense, both her and Draymond were talking lately about how they can feel it sticking. What are you observing, Monty? And where
it's true. There are too many possessions where the ball doesn't move and players don't move. The Warriors are at their best when their offense is all about movement. Players moving, the ball moving. You keep going until you find an open shot. And like Draymond was saying tonight, Steve always tells us, find the open guy, find the open guy. And if everybody's moving, there's usually somebody open. Between the use of screens and pin downs and find somebody open. What's happened, though, is there's been an odd amount of shot clock violations, which when the offense is running like it should, that doesn't happen. You find an open shot. So Jimmy Butler is not a big motion guy, but he picks teams apart in the post. So They have two ways to play, but the main thing for this team is you got to be able to move the ball and move your bodies and find open shots. Against this team, it's going to be hard, but that's the best way the Warriors play.
Well, some of their offenses, when Steph isn't playing, give the ball to Jimmy. Give Jimmy some space and watch him create.
Yes, because honestly, their offense with Jimmy is different. When Steph is the guy, it's the offense built around him.
Yes.
When he's off the floor, it's now built around Jimmy. Make sure Jimmy gets a touch every single possession, which sometimes doesn't happen.
Okay, so some involvement, have some better starts, keep the ball moving, have that rhythm and flow, which will lead to more connectivity between offense and defense.
No doubt about that, KB. It's been a bit clunky on the offensive side as of late for the Warriors, and they'll need to fix that today against a red-hot Clippers team. They're 17-3 in their last 20. We check in. Every connection counts. Miss USA, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm so thrilled to be here. This is actually my first NBA game in the Bay that I've been to, so I'm really excited.
This is a big one.
This is a big one. I know. I feel like I'm about to go on stage again. I'm getting nervous.
No, I don't know how you scored a ticket for this.
Very confident.
Yeah.
Very confident. So let me ask you, you got your bachelor's degree at West Point Military Academy, which is very impressive, which shows that you have a lot of discipline, something we lack, Fezzi. You're also pursuing a master's degree at Stanford University.
Yes.
So what accomplishment are you most proud of?
Oh, honestly, you know, it's deeply humbling to be the reigning Miss USA. I'm the 73rd American woman to ever be crowned, but for me to have raised my right hand and take an oath to serve this country, that tops everything for me.
Thank you for your service. That's
sure.
about respect and admiration for that. But you were a three-sport athlete in high school.
Yes.
Volleyball, basketball, and track. First, which sport did you enjoy the most? And did they prepare you to compete in the pageant circuit?
Yes. Well, I feel like basketball, honestly, I'm left-handed. So when I was born, when I was born, my dad said, you're left-handed.
This is one of the best lefties this game has ever seen.
When I was born, my dad said, you're left-handed, Alma, you're like 5'9", at like 13, you're going to play basketball. So I played basketball. Ever since I came out of the womb, it was predetermined for me. But I really enjoyed it because it taught me playing three sports. It teaches you that, you might not always be number one, may not always be the MVP, but it's going to teach you something about committing to a team, being, having team cohesion, things like that, being a team player. So I loved it. I'm a runner now, so I'm training to run the Big Sur Marathon at the end of this month. And that discipline aspect, that's where it comes in. So, yeah, I really enjoyed playing three sports growing up.
Okay, so let's switch gears for a second. All right, let's talk academics, because this is also really important. I read somewhere that you skipped the 3rd grade.
I did.
This is why you were able to graduate early. We have that in common. I skipped the 5th and the 6th grade.
I see you.
All right?
All right.
So, okay, I don't know what the Knight Hennessy Scholarship is.
Yeah.
But you have that. Now you're studying at Stanford, data science track. What does it mean for you to be this and to do that? What are you trying to do with those aspirations?
For sure. Well, I've always been committed to health and nutrition. A lot of my research in undergrad was focused on health and nutrition, and then also at Stanford, publishing research in the realm of health and nutrition and data analytics. So for me to think about, how to continue to contribute to greater society and make an impact, I feel like data analytics is a great way to do that. And also just representing for young women across the globe to show that you can be a woman in STEM, you can be a woman in a male-dominated field. There's really no limit that you can't take on. So that's really what it is about for me.
Wow, you're doing it.
You're doing it big.
I
You're doing it big.
appreciate it.
Now, the Warriors, they have a massive game. You mentioned it. You're going to be in there against the LA Clippers. You performed on the biggest stages under the brightest lights.
Yes.
How do you handle pressure?
Oh, man. Well, I like to think of it, live in the moment, but don't make the moment any bigger or smaller than it is. Have fun with it, just like you were talking about, play loose, things like that. I try and keep that in mind because I want to remember the moment as much as I can. And so if I can, play loose and get out there and be the best representation of myself, that's what matters.
And you rep Michigan hard.
Yes.
There's one guy in that building that really reps Michigan.